the WNBA is losing money, and it's going to lose money for the foreseeable future. There is a big but here. These figures, by the way, are absolutely not. It says here, the first report salary from the player side, per documentation obtained by ESPN, November's 28 proposal featured a projected salary cap of 12.5 million, average of 1 million per player salary, max salary of 2.5 million. That's not going to happen. The reason why is because
the room went silent. Phones stopped buzzing. According to people inside the league office, the WNBA commissioner was absolutely furious, because the moment Caitlin Clark's new Nike commercial dropped, everything changed, not just the headlines or social media, but hundreds of millions of dollars tied to the league's future. What happened next had people inside the WNBA whispering a single word: disaster. Stay until the end, because this story only gets crazier. For months, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a rookie, she was the moment. Sold-out arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, merchandise flying off shelves. Then Nike stepped in with one commercial, simple, clean, and ruthless. No league logos. No commissioner speeches.
I'd be saying, what does that mean? Sorry, if it was only the owners signing off on this would be signed already. Because you might be saying, oh, WNBA owners don't want to lose money. $700 million of losses. There will be, by the end of this deal, there will be 20 WNBA teams. That is $35 million per WNBA team over the course of, I think, 7 years. That is $5 million a year lost per team, while franchise values are increasing by 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 million a year. Like, every single owner would say yes. The problem is that insert person here, insert investor here that was in 2022, insert NBA owner that has nothing to do with the WNBA here, insert all of them people here, because at the end of the day, these people they're only in this for...
No team came first in that message, only Caitlin Clark. Buckets, confidence, and undeniable star power. Within hours, fans weren't talking about the WNBA at all, they were talking about Caitlin Clark the brand. That's when panic reportedly reached the top. Inside league circles, insiders described the reaction as explosive, because the WNBA wasn't just watching a player succeed, they were watching control slip away. The Nike ad didn't promote the league, didn't push a collective message, and didn't ask for permission. It exposed a brutal truth: Caitlin Clark doesn't need the WNBA, the WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. That reality made people at the top deeply uncomfortable. What followed was a proposal insiders claim was meant to protect the league, revenue restructuring, tighter sponsorship control, and stricter rules around individual branding. On paper, it looked like authority. In reality, analysts warned it could cost up to $700 million in long-term growth. Why? Because you don't cage your biggest attraction, silence the voice bringing in new fans, or slow momentum when the world is finally watching. And yet, the proposal moved forward, and fans noticed.
You feel more comfortable that I could maybe dunk in a few weeks or get better at shooting?
In a few weeks? Oh boy. Is that what we're calling that? All you need is a few
30
weeks.
days.
30 days. 30 days what I'm going for.
I told him he had to lose at least 20 pounds and get the technique down perfectly.
I think you need to start with like a tennis ball. Then you get the tennis ball, you go to like a volleyball, then you go to a basketball. I mean, don't ask me. I obviously don't dunk.
Are you dunking?
Heck no. I could maybe like grab the rim, but like I just shoot.
The backlash was immediate. Social media exploded with the same question over and over: why punish the only reason so many people are watching? Fans accused the league of sabotaging its own star, calling it allergic to success. Former players spoke out, media voices openly questioned the leadership, and sponsors, quietly and cautiously, began rethinking future deals. Through all of it, Caitlin Clark said nothing. No tweets. No interviews. No clapbacks. Just buckets. And somehow, that silence spoke louder than any statement ever could. That's when the situation turned truly dangerous for the league. Marketing experts began breaking it down, and the conclusion was unmistakable: Caitlin Clark wasn't just short-term revenue, she was long-term value, young fans, new demographics, global reach. And if the league appeared hostile to its own biggest star, that money wouldn't disappear, it would walk away, straight to brands, endorsements, and platforms completely outside league control. That's where the $700 million nightmare comes from, not a single lost deal, but years of opportunity quietly slipping away.
Problem is that even though each team is losing 5 million, on average, the owners are profiting, but it's those 58% of people. and they're eating losses. They're funding this league. They're not going to continue. 58% of people who will never see the profits are not going to continue funding the league. And that is the situation we're in, is that I don't think people realize how dire straits we're in, is that the 58% might literally dissolve the league. It is better for the 58% to dissolve the league because as long as the league's not profitable, franchise values doesn't matter for them. Literally, it is the fact that they sold money off to investors and they expect those investors like the NBA and those outside investors to continue to fund a loss leader. And people are like, oh, they can write it off as taxes, these billionaire owners. Not everything's a billionaire owner. And by the way, people don't understand, it's like, oh, write it off as taxes. You're still losing the money. You're like, oh yeah, you don't pay tax on it. It's like, but there's nothing for it. Like, it's not a play thing for these things, for these teams. Nobody just wants to burn money. Nobody burns money. Even if it is for taxes, that's not how it works. If you lose 5 million, you don't pay 5 million less in taxes. If you lose 5 million based on corporation tax, you might pay like, what, 1 million less in taxes? You're still losing 4 million from your company. Corporation tax, what is corporation tax in States? I know it's only 12.5% here, but like, we're a tax haven, so shout out corporation tax, baby. Saved me a boatload of money. But yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think people realize just how dire straits the WNBA is in, that we're at a situation now where there is a possibility that they could just say, fuck this, we're done. We don't want.
Here's the wildest part. The WNBA spent decades fighting for respect, and the moment it finally got a true crossover superstar, it panicked. Instead of riding the wave, it tried to control it. But stars don't move like organizations, they move culture. And Caitlin Clark had already done that. Now, insiders say the tension is real. Very real. Because every game Caitlin plays, every highlight she delivers, every kid wearing her jersey proves one thing: you can't manufacture a phenomenon. You either embrace it, or you lose everything trying to hold on to control.